Hi, cuties, besties, and ghosties. Welcome to Muertera. My name is Muertera. I'm so excited to have you here. Today, we are going to be peeking into what is going on for you during the month of May. Normally, I would film this a little bit early in the month, but for the select few that saw my upload last week, I definitely uploaded a video with the wrong title and no thumbnail. So if you did see that, really sorry about it. Little life update for me. I unfortunately was laid off in the last 2 weeks, so life has been a little bit hectic. But I am kind of really excited for the next new chapter, and looking for jobs right now and trying to make the best of it. So, little message for you: if you are, also experiencing some interruption in employment, it's gonna be okay. Like, I'm gonna be okay, you're gonna be okay. Hopefully, you'll find some messages in here to give you a little bit of love and support, or a lot of bit of love and support. Because really, I feel like for a lot of people that I know who have experienced this in this time, I think this is a really good, positive change and shaking up. I think a lot of circumstances that just were not working for us in general. So, yeah. That was my little tangent, but welcome to the reading. We are going to start out kind of with the basic format that I usually do. So, central energies, we'll get a little bit of advice. We'll look into love and career in particular. And then I have a couple oracles shuffled already for you, and we'll pull tarot from these decks during your reading. So, if you would like to see more of these readings, please comment, and subscribe. That really helps me grow my channel. I also have started posting on Instagram, so you're welcome to come follow me over there too. Heads up, I am going to be posting kind of the backlog of my readings, so it won't be new reading content for maybe the next few weeks, but there's some fun stuff in there in between, and I'm trying to kind of figure out some creative new content to put up there. So you are welcome to come join me on that journey. Anyway, if you have not been to a pick a pile card before, we have 3 piles. We have stones. I'm branching out. I put coral. I don't think it's a stone. Technically, it's a living being, but we're all welcome here. And in the next section, I will explain the meanings of the stones and then also talk about the different decks that I have here as well. Once you kind of settle into the energy, I'll play a meditation bowl. Then you pick your pile, and then you click down in the description for the timestamps. So really excited to have you here. I'm so grateful to have you here, whether this is the first time you've watched a reading from me, whether this is the 2nd, 5th, 10th. I value you so much, and I'm just so excited to be on this journey with you. So without further ado, I will either see you in the next section, or I will see you in your reading. Okay, bye. Hi, cuties. So let's dig into these decks. The first deck that we have is the Morgan Greer Tarot, and then we have this little cluster of citrine. Citrine is just such a beautiful, happy stone, and it really brings sunshine and gladness and wealth into your life, and not just like monetary wealth, but wealth and happiness and experience. So really beautiful stone. Our middle deck here, this is the Mysterious Forest Tarot, and I thought it was pretty fitting to put this beautiful piece of coral on the deck. Coral is all about peace and purity. It also was formerly a living being. So there's a lot of like life force energy in coral. It's so beautiful. It's so precious. And it makes me kind of think a lot about the preciousness of life. And I try not to think about what we're doing to the coral reefs, to be perfectly honest. And then our third pile, we have the YinYang Tarot, and this is the black cat version. I have 2 because, of course I do. I love cats. And then we have a Desert Rose Selenite. And Desert Rose Selenite is all about commitment, reaching your goals, kind of perseverance in the face of the trials and tribulations of life. So really calming, grounding stone. I think I used this in the previous reading as well. I love this one. Okay, so these are all your piles. I will play the bowl, and you can either click down in the description box now if you want to head over to your reading, or feel free to do so whenever you've chosen your pile. Okay. Hi, pile ones. If you chose the citrine and the Morgan Greer Tarot, this is your reading. I'm gonna tuck these over for now, and we will pull out the tarot after we bring out all of your oracles. Let me grab those. Okay, so for the central energy for this month, we have the Hunter. When I shuffled this, I just like felt like this was like I mean, there is like a beacon of light, but just such a driving, motivated energy for you. It was really beautiful. And we also have Obara. Happiness is the greatest wealth that the gods can give us. For your love side, we have hiding. And then for career, we have make believe. So what I thought was like really interesting about these two cards when I shuffled them, I don't know, I'm using this oracle deck in a very different way than I have before. This is the Iris Oracle deck. I think it's so beautiful. These are actually two of my favorite cards because the way that they're like holding up their hands is very similar, but it's like when you kind of like put up your hands and like look through them like glasses like you did as a kid. I don't know, there's like a very like playful energy with this make believe card. And I feel like right now it seems like you're feeling like a little bit more confident in your career than you are necessarily like in your love life. And I think it's like Spirit's trying to say that it is also a matter of your perspective. Like putting on your little glasses with these fingers like gives you a different perspective. This make believe card talks a lot about like kind of faking it until you make it. I feel like you're learning the art of that, and you're learning how to like drive forward. You're the hunter. Like even in this Obara card, there's a bow and arrow. Like you are moving forward and you know how to get what you want, and you understand that like no matter what's happening around you, it's really about self-confidence. Like if you go in and you own the room, everybody else is going to believe that you own the room. I feel like on the other hand, for love, like even if you look at the numbers, like 15 is before 17. It's actually interesting. It's 2. Whoa, sorry. I just like shot those over. Like 15 plus 2 is 17, and then Obara is 11. So I feel like you're working towards that, but you're like a little bit less confident right now in your love life. And with Obara coming out and happiness really being emphasized here, I think like your perspective right now is really the most important part, no matter what your love life or career looks like. Like if you have a more positive outlook on it, it is inherently going to be more positive. So I think they're like asking you to kind of take a look at the way that you're viewing these two aspects of your life and find like what is making you so successful kind of in your career sphere. It might not be that you're actually doing much better. It might just be a matter of like perspective. So I don't know. Let's dig into tarot. That's really a message that was coming out, which I think is beautiful, honestly. Like Spirit is like, hey, like things are actually really, really great for you right now, and we want you to see that. Like there's a time and place for everything. There's a season for everything. Like there's no need to worry about it. Like, you are a driven and motivated person. Like, you know what you want, you're gonna get it. And I think, like, sometimes things don't come on the timing or the time frame that we think they should. And to not, like, let that get you down. Okay, if this is sounding like you, this is the point where you can either stay in this pile and I'll finish out the reading. If this seems like somebody else, definitely pick another pile. I think the messages, from what I remember from the oracles, like, they're very distinct. So chances are, if you're not feeling this, then one of the other piles is probably for you. Okay, so let's look at, normally I do love, but I think I'm gonna do career first for you, because that message of kind of like applying this perspective to your love side, like, I want to see what's going on here so we can get a little bit more of an idea of what that is. So Spirit, what can you tell me about pile one's career right now and what May is going to bring? Ooh. Okay, we have the Ten of Wands, we have the Eight of Pentacles, so very like hard worky cards already. We have the Hierophant, and I'm gonna pull one more, but we're gonna have to start card stacking. I think I moved my camera and I can no longer fit enough cards in the frame, so really sorry about that, friends. Okay, and let's grab one more. We have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah. So what I'm feeling here, I mean, this message is like honestly pretty direct as it is. Like, you have been working really hard and you have a lot on your shoulders. I think that success for you does follow kind of a more traditional route. Like, you're going to go in, you're going to work hard, you're going to take on more responsibility, and you're going to get some payoff from that. And the Page of Pentacles tells me that you are pretty enthusiastic about this. Like, you may be a little bit earlier on in your journey, or if you're not, part of me feels like there might be a split here where some of you may be earlier on in the journey, but others of you just have this like intense drive that really hasn't diminished. Like, you really want to succeed, you really want to move forward, you really want a baller career, and you're going and you're getting it, you're putting the work in. Like, it doesn't matter if it gets difficult sometimes. Like, you've got the right perspective for growth here. Yeah, and this kind of plays in for some of you, like maybe you're taking on roles that you don't really necessarily fully know how to do, and you kind of are using this make-believe energy to have faith in yourself and to really take on new challenges, and go for your happiness, go for your dreams. So this is a really, honestly, like beautiful energy to see in your work side. Okay, Spirit, let's check in. Like, how is this energy manifesting for love for our pile ones? Okay, we have the Hermit and we have the Empress reversed. I think this is the hiding energy, right? Like, you may not really be kind of putting yourself out there right now, and looking for opportunities for love. For some of you, I kind of get almost like this like workaholic vibe. And even, okay, we have the Queen of Cups reversed. Yeah. Like, even if you look at this Hunter, the Hunter is just driving forward towards the career side. And the card that is really saying, like, happiness is your blessing, is the reward for hard work. That card's pointing in the direction of love. And for you, I feel like maybe there has been a disappointment in love, and it's almost blocking, like it's blocking your drive to go and socialize and be out with others and like welcome other forms of love into your life too. You know, we always think about romantic love as the most important love in our life, but we have so many other forms of love, like family love. We have friendship love, all of this kind of like platonic love. And it's kind of a shame, like we only have one word for love in the English language, and there are so many other types. Um, for some of you, I do feel like the time and attention that you have put into your career has almost like put your love life a little bit on a back burner. Let's grab one more card. And I feel like, and this is going to be for some of you. This isn't going to be for all. Yeah, like that's the Four of Swords energy. It feels like you have a lot of love and a lot of desire and drive for your romantic life as well. Um, but it almost feels like there's like a hint of, I don't want to say despair. Despair is like a little bit of a strong word for this, but like a little bit of sadness and maybe regret that so much of your time and energy has been spent on your career and spent on work. Um, and it feels like a lot of this like more feminine energy. And I don't really want to talk about like non-work energy as feminine energy. It's more like the more receptive energy for you feels a little blocked. And what Spirit is saying is like, regardless of what's happened in the past, you still have a really, really bright future. Like we have two cards here. We have the Hunter who was just driving forward towards this bright light. And then we also have the Hermit who, yes, the Hermit is in solitude, but the Hermit is looking for within, looking for inner peace, and also is guided by light. And I think the biggest thing that's holding you back in this area is kind of like a little bit of like a passivity to really do things that will open yourself up to new experiences and open yourself up to love. And I think a little bit like it feels like you've been like cutting yourself off from these experiences, like almost as a protective measure. Like you're almost like a little bit like watching life pass by. And Spirit really wants you to take some of this driving energy because you are so good at expressing it over here in your work life and start applying that to your relationships. And I don't want to talk about this in like a romantic relationship because I think the blocker here is like going out and socializing and creating really strong friendships, creating a social network, having fun. Like if you are having fun and you are out and you are really enjoying your life and you are happy, you are going to attract people like that into your life, and you naturally will attract people who are also interested in you. But if you're kind of like chilling at work all the time and working, you don't really have the opportunity to go out and be in those social environments that would help you create those connections. So I think that's like the biggest piece of advice here. I am also going to grab you, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna grab another deck. Just for like an extra confirmation. Spirit, do you have any other advice for pile one? Ooh, okay, we just got a lot. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna take them all. Sometimes I kick them out, but we have curiosity. What sparks your interest? Like, get out there. Moonbeam, you are on the right path. And new moon, fresh start, new beginnings. She's a little naked gal, so we're gonna give her a little crystal toga. Um, Spirit just wants to emphasize like you are the master of your destiny and you get to decide like what a happy life looks like for you. Um, if you are looking for more connection in your life, like all of the things that you need are within you. And it's really a matter of perspective and taking that drive and kind of applying it to a different part in your life and just realizing that like the exact same type of drive that suits you in work and really makes you successful here isn't necessarily the same type of drive that will make you successful in kind of your love and relationship side. Like this is a little bit more of a receptive energy. Right now it's being expressed a little bit as a passive energy. And so I feel like you are working to kind of integrate these energies and really figure out like how you can apply this type of energy across kind of the spread of your life and really curate the life that you want and find the happiness that you want. And I think this month is really kind of like pivotal into you integrating this energy and really figuring out how to express it in a healthy way. And these cards are just really like emphasizing this. Like, I think you already know what you need to do, and it's more about just kind of like taking the steps to do it. So, hopefully, this gives you a confirmation and the confidence. Like, honestly, look at these damn cards over here. Like, you're a badass. I want to know what you do. Comment, let me know what your career is, what you're working on. But Spirit's really proud of you, and this is one of the most freaking beautiful cards, honestly, in this deck. Like, this deck has a good mix of like positive and more negative advice aspects. But this really just emphasizes happiness, like happiness and balance. That is the greatest gift that you can have in your life, and you are on the path to really creating that in a way that, like, in a way that your soul really craves, and something that is really unique to you and your own definition. And I feel like that's something that's important to you. So this is all that I have for you. Hopefully this resonated. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. I'm so grateful to have you here. And I hope you keep your little heart safe. And hopefully I will see you in another reading. Okay, bye. Hey, Pile 2s. If you chose this Coral and the Mysterious Forest Tarot, then this is your reading. I'm gonna pull this gal over here and we're gonna start out with your oracles. Funny thing, so I actually pulled the wrong oracles when I first tried to film this pile, and as well, like, I kept on shuffling and shuffling and like chunks of cards were coming out. Spirit was telling me like, don't take those, don't take those. So we're gonna get into it, but like, I feel like you are kind of like in the thick of it right now and a little bit like struggling with direction, where to go, making choices, things like that. So hopefully this can help a little bit. So for your central energies, we have the underworld, which I'm just like noticing. I've never noticed before, all these eyes. I should point with my little eye finger. Eye. Okay, and then we have Irosun. So afraid of what the future may be, you didn't act. So like, again, that's kind of the energy of just like all these cards coming out. For your love side, we have the pink bubble fairy. And on the right, we have good things for career. So, I think honestly, the central message, like, even though your energies are a little bit like it's just kind of like being in the thick of it. Like, the way I see the underworld is it's an in-between space, right? And it's about kind of like sifting through our negative energies and really being comfortable with them. And then we also have this dead guy, Irosun, reminding us that like non-action is also a choice. So I do kind of feel like you have a lot of options around you, and that's like really emphasized honestly with both your pink bubble fairy and good things. And Spirit is really saying right now, like, don't be afraid of the good things that are coming to you. Like, there's no catch here. I feel like that's kind of like they're excited about these options that you have, and you get to pick one. But kind of like the worst thing is to not pick anything, because that by itself is a decision. So I think there is a message here, like no matter, like you may feel a little bit cut off from your intuition right now, but it's safe to really trust in that intuition, trust in your decision making process, and pick an option, because you have to make a choice anyway. So yeah, if this is sounding kind of like the energy that you're in right now, we'll dig into tarot. If it is not, this is the time to pop over to another pile. The piles definitely had, I mean, I've only done fully one, but all of the oracles were pretty different. So if this doesn't feel like you, chances are there will be a message that aligns a little bit better in piles 1 or 2, or 1 or 3. This is 2. Even I'm getting a little jumbled right now. Okay. And Spirit wanted me to point out that the number 11 was in pile 1 as well. So if you follow angel numbers, that might be a sign for you. Okay, let's dig into the tarot. This tarot is really slippery, so I hope I don't kind of like shoot all the cards out. If I do, don't judge me. Ooh, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So we're gonna do love first. That's kind of emphasizing like there are options, there are offers, like and the pink bubble fairy. The pink bubble fairy is like all about like kind of like manifestations and wishes coming true. Like the universe is telling you that the energy that you have been putting out is going to take shape. It's a really beautiful energy and a beautiful card. Okay, we have the 9 of Swords. So that is some pretty like heavy overthinking energy. And especially in this deck, because we have like these like fingers with blades on them. I feel like there's a lot of kind of like self-inflicted almost like thought distortion or like stress, anxiety, like. But what Spirit's trying to tell you is like what your mind is telling you about the situation or about the options you have or how this is going is kind of distorted from the way that it actually is. Very interesting, because we have the 9 of Swords, which if we're like thinking about this and kind of like the energy of like indecision or like being stuck in the thick of it and not really knowing which direction to go, we also have the 2 of Wands reversed. And the 2 of Wands is about making a decision and like having difficulty with that decision, but you have to choose a path. And here it's in reverse. So I feel like you're really having trouble making a decision. And then we also have the 8 of Wands. Which reverse is just stalled energy. So I don't know if we even needed to pull tarot at this point. But I think for the month of May, like you may kind of be a little bit in this energy, and Spirit wants to remind you that like your prayers are being heard, even if you're not feeling like they are. And you do have options out there. And I think maybe like there is like a little bit of a disconnect between what you asked for and the gift that you're being given. I'm kind of feeling that a little bit. Like the underworlds, like I feel like that's also kind of a connection to ancestors as well. even if you don't have options that are like your perfect option, to some extent, like you still have to choose. And Spirit's reminding you, like, being in this energy of kind of inaction and stressing about things, like, by default makes you just choose nothing, or that choice is made for you. Like, say you have somebody that you're thinking about dating, giving a second chance, and rather than actually kind of like rationally making a decision about what you want to do about it, you just don't do anything and they walk away. Your decision was no. It doesn't matter that you didn't actually make a decision, like that decision was kind of made for you, but you still made a decision. And that's the type of kind of like energy that's going on with your love life right now. And Spirit's really asking you to kind of like take a look at it with a fresh look of eye, like a fresh set of eyes, a fresh look at eyes. That's not an actual saying. A fresh set of eyes, and really try to kind of like get beyond like the monkey brain, the anxiety, the indecision, and really think rationally about what your options are and what that means, and what saying yes or no would mean, what making a decision would mean, what making no decision would mean. I think that might be like the no decision is like missing in this a little bit. But you have full agency and power over this. You've been kind of praying for something, and I feel like for some of you, it might be like an idealized version, and you might be given a gift and kind of like you're like, I call this like the love and relationship area. Like, I feel like Spirit is trying to give you a gift somewhere in here, and it might not look 100% like the dreams that you've been trying for, but that doesn't mean that it's not a blessing. So something to think about. You know, you have free will. For some of you, this also could mean like, look at the options that you have and connect to what you've been asking for and what you've been manifesting, because that is also coming. And if the decision you have down here, like if it's creating so much stress because you have to let something go in order to make room for what you've been manifesting, that is also kind of, that's probably a bigger group, to be perfectly honest, like in this pile. But I think like really connecting with that, yeah, the manifestation, the dreams, like what you've been asking for in this area will help you kind of make this decision and get out of this energy. Okay, let's chat about career. So Spirit, what do you have to say about pile two's career right now? We have the Page of Pentacles. This came up in pile one as well. So we got some hard workers. Like, I feel like these good things are coming about because you have been working hard. I'm not going to take those because it was too many, but that was justice. Just to emphasize, like, this is payoff from what you've been working on, which is really amazing. Okay. This is this is what I'm talking about. Like, this many cards came out. Like, you're just getting chunks and chunks and chunks of cards. And I feel like there is like a kind of like scattered thinking in this pile as well. Like, there's just a lot going on in your brain right now. Okay, we'll take these two because they're two. Okay, we have the moon and we have the star. Which for me are like a little bit like two sides of the same coin. And again, we have like this energy of options here. Like, you may have like job offers at work. Like, I'm kind of getting the sense that you're kind of at a crossroads right now for a lot of different things, and you need to make a decision, and you're having difficulty really like focusing your energy and really being able to see clearly and objectively what the best path is for you. Because the star is all about like hopes and ideals and dreams, and it's a very healing card. And the moon is kind of about like repressed emotions and not really understanding ourselves or like where we need to go. And it can kind of it's almost like the moon like obscures that star. Like if you think about it, the moon in the sky is a bright light, and that blocks out stars sometimes. And I feel like that energy is kind of like sitting pretty heavy in this month of May. Um, and I'm just hearing that like there is kind of like a best choice for you in a career. Like this apple's going to seed, and in Santeria, seeds are wealth, right? Like if you take one seed from an apple and you plant it and you grow a tree, all of a sudden you have 200 apples a year, something like that. So I think this is saying is like you need to connect with your higher self kind of in the same way that you need to do that in your love side. Like this is a central energy, and figure out like which direction objectively is the best for you, because you are a bit at a crossroads. And I think in work, with this Page of Pentacles, like I'm kind of feeling like reaching out maybe to a mentor, not to make the decision for you, but to give you kind of an idea of what your options even are, may be helpful for you in your career, especially if you're kind of like thinking about taking a new role on or transferring to a different team, something like that. Like you have a lot of really like industrious energy, and I think it's just being able to kind of like focus that and really like get out of this like underworld energy. Like I just see these tentacles kind of holding on to you right now. Okay, let's pull some pieces of advice on how you can kind of vet these options and get out of this like analysis it feels like analysis paralysis. Like I feel like you're a pretty logical person, to be perfectly honest. And something about this is like maybe throwing you off a little bit. Okay. Spirit, what advice do you have for a beautiful pile twos? Whoop, whoop, okay. Whoa, okay. Well, those came out really chunky, but we're gonna take them. So we have Hecate, change is important, release the past. And we have last quarter, what is holding you back? Yep. And waxing gibbous, it is okay to change direction. Very interesting. I was like kind of like picking this up a little bit, talking about kind of being a little bit more logically minded. Like you may have options in front of you that are a little bit more emotional based, or speak to your soul a little bit more, but maybe for the outside world, like maybe somebody else wouldn't make that decision. But I think what Spirit really wants you to know is like, this is your life. This is your happiness. This is your direction. Like, this is your guiding star. It's your dream. And you get to decide where you go. And we have two cards. I mean, actually, all these cards are about change. But just because you started down one path doesn't mean that you don't get to choose direction. Like it's okay for you. And in this card, like happiness lies in both directions. It's really about what you want. And I think the biggest thing like holding you back right now is And I feel like this has kind of been instigated by spirit as well. I don't see this as like a negative thing. I think you've been like bumped from your intuition a little bit. And I think it's causing a lot of chaos for you. And right now, I do feel like you are in a transition period where you are going to be shedding some things that are not going to make it on your final journey. And these are kind of your like guiding lights. Like you have so many positive, great things ahead for you. But I think you just have to make the decision on like, what are those things based on what's the best thing for you and what's going to make you happy. And I do kind of see this like underworld energy clearing for you. And it may take a little bit of time, it may take a little bit of risk, but I feel like you are going to come out of this period with a much deeper understanding of who you are, what makes you happy, what you want, and what direction you want to go. Um, yeah, I hope this was helpful. Please like, comment, subscribe. Like, let me know in the comments what's going on with you. Like, what are you weighing right now? What options? Um, we all go through these periods. Like I just came out of a very long, year-long period and ended up starting like a tarot channel, and I'm designing spiritual apparel and things like that. So like beautiful things are going to come out of this as hard as it feels right now. I think we go through these periods for a very good reason, and I just feel like spirit is just like waiting for you. So, yeah. Well, I hope I will see you in another reading. And until then, take care of yourself, protect your little heart. Okay? Bye. Pile threes. If you chose this desert rose crystal, the selenite cluster, I love it, so pretty. This is your reading. And the YinYang cat tarot. Forgot to announce our favorite friend. Okay, I'm going to move those over to the side. We're going to pull out some oracles. I'll pull out oracles first for the central energy in the reading, then we'll look at love and career. I do love as kind of like love and relationships. So unless there's like a specific message about romantic love, that's kind of what we'll be talking about. So for your central energy, we have the Village. This is actually the first time I've like ever even seen this card, so I was kind of excited. For our kind of like complementary energy here, we have Ofun. The future will never come while you're attached to the past. And Obeogunda. Sometimes the best win is to choose what you're willing to lose. So we got some like savage energy in this file. I don't know. I'm kind of into it. So on our left, we have Slimy for love and cornucopia. I feel like pretty strongly that you are going through a transition time right now, I will say. It's kind of funny, like in all the piles, we've had like really just like bountiful, amazing energy on the work side. Like literally you have cornucopia here. Which is like you are really like reaping the benefits of all the hard work that you've put in on your work side. We also have Slimy on your kind of love and relationship side. And with the Village, like what I'm really feeling is that you have been shedding a lot of old energy that no longer serves you. And Spirit really like wants to congratulate you for doing this. I think the shifting of that energy is really paying off in the work realm. Like things kind of ripple. That makes more sense. Like I'm kind of feeling like you are cutting ties that have been weighing you down, and it's kind of given you like a lot more like emotional, energetic freedom to really pursue your dreams and what you want to do. I feel like that energy it's like still in progress, and it's showing up in this slimy card. Like this slimy card is about kind of like being in the swamp and covered by slime and kind of, like you have a veil, like this girl has a veil over her eyes, and she's kind of like zoom in a little bit, like she's got a veil over her eyes, like almost trying to like hide from it or like not really look at it too clearly. Although it's gauze, like she technically can see through it. I feel like you have been going through that process of kind of like elevating yourself out of other people's ick. Like you are no longer kind of carrying the dead weight of others. Like you are recognizing as you are healing that some of the relationships, like maybe even some family members for some of you, or like your home life as a child, like maybe that doesn't suit you anymore. And I feel like there's kind of like a range of experiences here. This is a general reading, but I think for some of you this is like recognizing that the village that you were raised in maybe isn't your forever family, or your friends from childhood, or your friends, from 10 years ago don't have the same kind of mentality as you anymore. And I feel like you are getting more and more comfortable with kind of like asserting boundaries and being willing to cut people from your life that aren't really supporting you and aren't helping you on your path. And those are just emphasized in these cards. Like these cards down here are really about kind of like cutting old ties and releasing the past. And Spirit is just like really proud of you, like honestly. This is just like a really beautiful energy, and I feel like you are bringing in relationships right now that are closer to your vibe and the way that you like want to be treated. But like shedding is also a process. This isn't something that is over yet. Although like I do feel like you are like you've been in this for a bit. Yeah. So if this sounds like the energy that you are in right now, this is your pile. If it's not seeming quite right, then we have two other piles as well. And those were pretty distinct. So if this doesn't feel like you, then you'll probably find a message in one of those two. But we are going to move on to tarot for a little bit of clarification. Okay, Spirit. I'm going to do love first. Okay, Spirit, what do you have to say about pile three's love life? Okay, we have the 10 of Wands. Yes, you are shedding people that have been weighing you down. Hell yeah, I love to see that. 2 of Wands reversed. We have the 10 of Swords reversed. Okay, actually, I want to clarify this 2 of Wands. I just heard fake friends. Page of Cups, yeah. Okay. So for your love and relationship side, I think this is really about kind of like family relationships or like really like old friendships that were maybe from like a different period of your life. I think over time these are things that really started to weigh you down, and I see your energy as like elevating, like you are elevating out of this kind of slimy like environment. And as we kind of elevate ourselves, we start looking around at our relationships, and some people like relationships are an energy exchange. So some people will rise with you, and some people have that growth mindset and are going to develop themselves and they will move in that direction. Other people just won't. And I think you have realized that like some people are just not along for the ride. And I think that's this like Two of Wands energy where you're kind of like, well, I'm going in one direction. You're clearly not going to follow. Like you have this kind of fake cup of love that you're giving me that's mostly bullshit. And I'm going to start my new day somewhere else. And you're putting down these burdens and you're kind of like letting this, it is kind of, it feels like a little bit of a betrayal energy in some ways. Like I feel like the people that you are letting go have betrayed you in certain ways or hurt you, but also it feels like you're letting go of kind of the self-betrayal of keeping them in your life as well. Like this is really beautiful, transformative energy. I love it. I love this for you. And I feel like you're like building this new home, this new village with like the person that you are and the values that you have. And I think that's just freaking beautiful. Okay, Spirit, what do you have to say about, okay, I'm going to cut these evenly this time. This deck is so like tall, it's really hard for me to shuffle with nails. What about our work? Tell me about Pal 3's work. Oh, we have the Ace of Cups. You have so much like abundance coming towards you with cornucopia and the Ace of Cups. Like, chef's kiss. This is freaking beautiful. And we have the Two of Cups. Holy cups, man. I'm hearing like this is your reward for all of the work that you're doing over here. This is definitely like just so much abundance and so much love and so much happiness. Oh, I love it. Okay. Okay, and then we have the Two of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. Interesting. Okay, so I am feeling a little bit like there's gonna be like a lot of stuff coming towards you. Like, remember that when we start elevating ourselves and kind of clearing out negative old energy, there's kind of like a few things that happen to us. Like, number one, we're still gonna like attract this energy that we've released for a little bit. Part of that is the universe testing your resolve a little bit. Like, really, like, have you let this go? Really, are you not okay with this? Like, really, is this how you want the world, or like how you want your life to look like? And I think that's like the Seven of Cups energy over here, where this is going to be like a little bit of a juggling act, because you are going to have like some of this energy trying to like pull you back a little bit. And that's really to test your resolve and really teach you to kind of like stand firm in who you want to be and what you want your life to look like. And really, this is like a message of discernment. Like, there are opportunities and people coming your way that really align with your values and align with who you want to be. And I think that you are going to meet some soulmates in your career space, like in the next month, 2 months. Like, this is an energy that's going to continue beyond May. This is kind of like where you're at right now. But I do feel like these energies are going to start flowing, and you are going to start attracting people and opportunities towards you that really are just more aligned with you. And there's going to be a lot of like just bounty from it. Not just monetary, but also just happiness and fulfillment and community. And you may find that if you've let go of a lot of friends that aren't really along the journey anymore, you might find some really, really amazing homies at work. Um, some environments aren't great for making friends, but I feel like you are going to meet some ride or dies that are going to be there kind of forever for you. The only like little warning here is that not everybody has good intentions. So you are going to be in this like very just like you have the energy of attraction right now, because you've made this space. So when you put that energy out at work and just in general in life, like not everyone who comes towards you and who sees your light is there to support you. Like some people just want to leech off your light. So I think the caveat here is use your discernment, like get to know people, don't let people in too fast. Figure out who they are and then pick and choose the ones who make it past. Do this little juggling act. Be like, okay, jump through a couple hoops for me. Like, we're in a circus right now. Like, jump through a couple hoops so I can see like what type of cup you really are offering me. And then if it matches mine, like you're in. If it doesn't match mine, you're out. That's really the message here. This is really beautiful energy. I love this. Okay, we are going to wrap up with some advice. Spirit, what advice do you have for our beautiful pile threes for the month of May? Oh, we have Sarah's love and mother yourself. I'm just going to leave it at that. Because honestly, I think that is the perfect piece of advice for this. Like, you are going through so much change here and it is shaking up your foundation. Take care of yourself. And really, like, get comfort, have fun with these people that are coming into your life and this energy that's coming in. Like, self-care is really important. Caring for yourself is really important, especially when you're kind of eliminating people that were once your safety net or your comfort zone or your support system. So make sure you take the time to really take care of yourself. And I'm going to pull one more just because I feel like it. Lilith, reclaim your power. Yes. Like, you're a badass. Like, take your energy back from all these like toxic energy vampires. And yeah, like you kind of have these two energies, honestly. It's like you got this like beautiful light and love area from your career sphere, and you kind of have this like badass witch warrior energy coming from your love and relationship sphere. So I don't know, with these two energies, I don't think you can be beat. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful to have you here. These are always so fun for me to do. If this resonated, please like, comment, subscribe. That really helps me grow my channel. Above all, protect your little heart. I'm so excited for your next month. Come back and let me know like what comes into your life. And hopefully I will see you in another reading, okay? Bye.